It's going to be a warm night's work for these two teams as they prepare for the kickoff. Referee is Luke Ramos. Not to be confused with the Toulouse fullback, Thomas Ramos. It's going to be Stade Francais to get the ball rolling. Joris Segond floats the ball up into the evening sky. And that's a beautiful take from Alexandre Roumain straight off. Parisian forwards looking to get stuck in, but this is clean ball for Toulouse early on. Flamand driving in. A little help there from Richie Arnold. Still going strong at 33. High ball aiming for the touchline, but it's not going to make it. It's well taken, beautifully taken. Grau looking to get things moving. And burying the ball deep into the 22. Comfortably taken by Hamdawi. And Stade Francais have the chance to loft the ball high, goes into touch. Oh, well, not quite into touch. Away come Toulouse again. Chase is on. It's not taken cleanly by Segond. Hamdawi collects. Toulouse quickly on it. But it's Brad Weber who has the feed. The crowd getting behind their team in these early moments, looking for an early score. And the ball coming back on the pink side. It's gone wrong for Stade Francais. A little bit of shovey-pushy, but the first penalty for Toulouse.
It's been a pretty clean start from both teams, and Toulouse there just sensing the opportunity to get in, put some pressure on the ball on the ground. Thought maybe they might have got a penalty a little bit earlier when Stade Francais seemed to flop in and just seal that ball off. And in the end, I'm not convinced this was the right penalty, but anyway, they did eventually deserve one. Toulouse. Ramos is going to have a look at the post straight away. There's the opportunity there. Player isolated. Toulouse very quick to pounce. That's when I thought maybe they might have got the penalty. Eventually it did come. The ball was out and held on to by Stade Francais. So good pressure from Toulouse after what was, like I say, a pretty tidy start from both teams.
Well, Thomas Ramos, the man teeing up the ball. 86 points to his name thus far this season. He's had a good season with France, with Toulouse. Comfortable at 10, comfortable at 15, and comfortable off the tee, but that one, quite extraordinarily, has gone wide of the posts. It remains 0-0.
Quite an uncharacteristic miss from Ramos. It almost looked like he got a little bit cramped. He got a little bit too close to the ball with his plant foot, and didn't look like a comfortable strike that we've come to know from him.
He was looking out for Cheslin Colby, wasn't he?
Always. It's on his team now.
The high ball once again sent down towards Stade Francais. It's well taken on by Habel Kufner. And the pink shirts, finally they get their hands on it, and their first chance really to make any ground. Weber looks for the support. Summons the Caterpillar. Goes over the top. Again, it's a good take from Juan Cruz Malia. The crowd reckon he was taken out in the air. The referee not concerned at the moment. Flamand drives in, but doesn't get terribly far. Stade Francais forward still looking to ruck that. Over the top. Oh, and that's another lovely take from Mathis Lebel. And Toulouse quickly working the ball across the field. Big tackle in on Malia. The referee brings them back for the offside. So a second chance for Ramos if he wants it.
Toulouse really making the most of their skill in the air. That's 3 high balls that they've recovered. Bonus possession, although you do, kick those ones to try and regain possession, but it's a bit of a 50-50 at best sometimes. And Toulouse, Lebel's already nabbed 2 of them in the air, so he's going well out on that left flank.
He's had a good season, Matisse Lebel, 8 tries so far.
And to have produced the quality performances that he has amongst all the luminary players that he has around him is pretty good. Just not quite. There was a real kamikaze tackle there that snuffed that movement out for Toulouse.
Ramos looking to go a little bit better this time. Sent his first opportunity just wide. This one just sneaks inside the post. Toulouse are in front. They lead Stade Francais by 3 points to 0. So the first points on the board. Sagon gets us moving once again, but that is not quite what was on the cards for him. Puts his hand up, apologises to his teammates. Sorry lads, got that one wrong.
He might have just erred on distance there, I think, because he missed that touchline by a long way. It went well over, so I think he was trying to push that one deeper. Bonus possession again for Toulouse. Midfield scrum, ideal attacking platform. See that man in the middle of the screen sitting there, Antoine Dupont, would be loving this opportunity from here. Both ways they can go. Can also react to which way the scrum goes if it turns at all.
Well, this is going to be quite a big scrummage because I mentioned earlier, I think there's 7 internationals in the Toulouse scrummage, but Stade Francais this season have had a very good scrummage. They've in past years they've tended to crumble, but this season it's been extremely good. Bang on cue, they're penalised. My apologies for that one. Putting the mockers on.
They seem to set themselves up there, Stade Francais, to hit up on the left-hand side, this near side of the scrum. And what that can sometimes do is just force the attacking team to go the side that the scrum's screwed, which means that Stade Francais can also load another defender out on that far side. Push the scrum up to the left, load up the defence on the right. And I think that was what they were trying to do, but they fell foul of referee Ramos.
And that has given Thomas Ramos the chance to find touch. I think he's done a good effort from Kylian Hamdawi.
He just only failed here by that 1 foot that landed on the line. I mean, it's a great kick to put Toulouse 5 metres out.
Yes, the danger is there for Stade Francais. The bell is ringing. Toulouse have a clean ball thanks to Richie Arnold. It's tucked under the jumper of Julien Marchand, the back, the hooker, the France hooker. He's captain for the day, driving towards the line. Just 6 metres out or so. Now the ball spins wide. Is there room? Dink over the top from Ramos. It's collected, and there is the first try. It is that man, Matisse Lebel, his 9th try of the season, and that had been coming. Lovely piece of work. Beautifully weighted kick. It was simple in the end, wasn't it?
Well, they made it look simple. It was absolute clockwork from the Toulouse backline. Lebel's 3rd time he's caught the ball cleanly. Good clean take from Richie Arnold, and great defence from Stade Francais initially. But look at this, they had the means, they had the time to get outside that out-to-in defence from Stade Francais, and Lebel uncontested in the corner. Like I say, his 3rd clean catch from a kick, and this one yields 5 points.
I think I may have done an injustice to Juan Cruz Malia there. I think I said Thomas Ramos. So used to seeing him putting those in that it was Malia who made that kick. So first try of the night for Toulouse. And they're taking an early grip on this game. If Ramos can pop this over, they're only 10 points clear. Not insurmountable, of course, because we're only 10 minutes into the game, but exactly the start they would have wanted. Oh, he's curled that in nicely. That's better. That's the Ramos we know. 10 points to 0 it is.
They did nicely here, the Toulouse backline, not to take the ball too far forward and really get into a contact situation with that Stade Francais defence. They took their time, they patiently waited. The Stade Francais defence came up and left the opportunity out wide. Well executed.
Well, Stade Francais have been distinctly second best at the moment. They've had one or two moments with the ball, but really this first 10 minutes has been completely dominated by Toulouse. Segond wants to get this one in, or he sent it deep. It's a comfortable take for Jack Willis. Drives directly into his opposite numbers. Ball there for Grau. Ramos moving it wide. And the kick out into touch. So Toulouse doing well there, making good ground, clearing their lines. And that's a well-merited thumbs up.
The former Toulouse players always out in force as well. Easy club, obviously, to stay connected with and to stay supportive of. Vincent Clerc, the French winger there, sitting with the young fella, teach him a few things about back play, I'm sure.
Stade Francais, quick ball off the line out. Merchant goes, Habel Koufno into the contact. Hamdawi driving in. Etienne giving support. It's a little bit clumsy, but they have the ball. They have the possession. Weber moves wide again. Etienne with the little dink through. It's well taken. Back they will come.
Apart from the kickoffs, it's really the first time we've seen Stade Francais in the Toulouse half, isn't it? And with the ball in possession, I think 3 points, yep. Just got to get some sort of reward, just to stay in touch, just to tell themselves we can do it. We're sitting here on a bagel. Toulouse has had one-way traffic, really.
It's vital, isn't it, to stay in touch, to get something on the board, to get moving.
They haven't even really had to get too far into Toulouse's half to get these points if they can knock over these threes. So they'll go back and take the kickoff and try and start again. And that whole last try probably started from the kickoff, unfortunately. There was a real cascade of errors. The kick out on the full, the scrum where they yielded a penalty. And then suddenly they were back on their own line and try was scored.
Joris Segond is the kicker. He's been with Stade Francais since 2019. Heading off at the end of the season, though. Interesting decision to go down to Bayonne. At the moment, though, looking to collect the points for the Parisians. Over she goes. Stade Francais are on the board.
That's really a bonus 3 points for Stade Francais as well. So now their game essentially starts. That ball took off, looking like it was going to miss left, but straightened back up, and a good hit from a fair distance out.
Off we go again. The boot being used pretty effectively thus far this evening. Segond, what do you make of Segond's decision to go to Bayonne?
Well, Bayonne's actually had a pretty good season, really. A lot of passion, a lot of noise down there. They're getting really good full stadia. They came up recently and almost beat Stade Francais. They were pipped in the last minute at Stade Francais. So there's just something a little bit special about them, a lot like Perpignan as well. Just the boiling blood from those teams down in the south, and so it's an attractive option. Play a good style of rugby and be part of a good journey too.
I should just say those two are meeting next week, Perpignan against Bayonne, and you will be able to watch that match live. Enjoy it. The Catalans against the Basques.
Perpignan have done so well this season, haven't they? When they were right in the relegation zone and sort of came to about February or March, and the desperation really kicked in, and they've produced some amazing rugby. I think they clobbered this lot. They beat Toulouse down at home by 10 odd points, didn't they? So
they had 5 wins on the trot, and yesterday they should have had a 6, but gave it away against Clermont, unfortunately for them. Bayonne, of course, had a tremendous win against Racing as well. So it is very interesting, the top 14 at the moment. Toulouse leading this one by 10 points to 3. Weber has the put in. And Harbel Kufner coming off the back, sends it the other way. Joris Segon looking for a bit of space out wide. Marchand is held up. Plays it back though. Weber, can he get them moving once again? This is better from Stade Francais. There's a bit of oomph in their motor now. Making ground. Good work by Pierre Blanc, the hooker. Pierre Boudon driving through the centre. Running into this good defensive wall though from Toulouse, but still making a little bit of ground. Keeping the possession, working through the phases. Weber almost getting roughed up by Grau. Able to lay the ball back. Gabriag. Pierre Blanc has another go. Keeping the ball well. Now Segon uses the boot. Puts a little bit of pressure on Ramos. Oh, and that's gone, yeah, there is pressure on the defence. Lebel is going to run out of it, is he? No, into touch it goes, and that's great work from Stade Francais. Marchand looking for the quick one, wasn't there. But they've got themselves a good attacking position now. Good phase of play.
You just can't close your eyes against Toulouse, can you? Because they've got intent from every part of the field. You know, Ramos under pressure at the back there. Hooks a sort of a wobbly bit of a pass out to Lebel, who wants to have a go, attack their way out of trouble, which can get them in trouble even more, but can also be dangerous for the opposition.
They need a good line out. They've got a good line out. That's well taken by Ryan Chapuis. And the pink shirts rolling towards the Toulouse line. Pierre Blanc has the ball, who is still going. Jack Willis brings him down. It's there for Weber. He's got numbers. Passenti drives in. Weber again, using the forwards to batter away at the defences. Boudon, he can't get through. Change of direction. Same tactic. Gabriag driving straight into the heart of the defence. Some quick hands. Is there a way through though? Etienne is dragged down. Weber. Passenti takes two tacklers. The ball popped back. Gabriag has it. Dyer. Stade Francais working like Trojans at the moment. Desperately trying to find a way through this very well disciplined Toulouse defence. Weber feeds again. Briat is knocked back on his toes. Boudon, he's looked lively. Little chip over the top. Can someone chase this? It's not. It's going to fall for the Toulouse defenders, I think. Lebel has it. Where's he off to? He's not stopping. Not giving us a chance to catch our breath. And now Toulouse, they're not seriously thinking of attacking from their own 5 metres out. Well, it's with Grau. Gets the order from the referee to get a shift on. Goes over the top and finds the touch. And we can all take a little breath. Over to you, Andrew.
I'm just sitting here with my eyebrows raised. It's fantastic, isn't it? Lebel behind his own goal line here and just puts his head down, the positivity that he brings. And when you've got a team that's got a mindset to attack, then you know you're going to have some support somewhere and you're going to have players who are going to be able to react to this. You can't just pull it out as one player in a team that doesn't normally do this, but Toulouse does, and so they get in support.
It's rugby's version of baseball, isn't it?
Totally. It's a great attitude.
Well, Stade Francais going well. Weber, he's found the gap. Doing really well, Weber. Broke through the first tackle. The ball's popped up. It's come back safely. Pierre Blanc has it. This is really good work from Stade Francais. They finally got a little bit of impetus. That's gone out, though. It was too long for Dakuwanga. Well, was that the right choice for Joris Segon?
Well, I thought he had the arm out for a penalty advantage, something at the ruck there, but it was the knock-on as they tried to rip the ball away, Toulouse. So I think, was that advantage over? No, he's giving them a scrum. Can't work out what's happened there. Brad Weber, great run from him, sniping away and just putting his head down.
Yeah, it's a Toulouse line out. Well, they've still got to defend it. Oh, nicely done by Rumar. So good in the line out. You'd have played against his dad, wouldn't you?
Thanks.
Well, no. You were at the start of your career, and Olivier... Oh, and they're over. Stade Francais have surprised us all. That is superb work from Stade Francais. They took it quickly, caught me off guard, caught the Toulouse defence off guard as well, and that is a great try for Lucas Perblanc. Stade Francais back in the game.
That's an extraordinary effort. The presence of mind and then the execution, something for the Stade Francais supporters to cheer about. Here's the run from Brad Weber that originally got them way down into Toulouse territory. He busted through a couple of tackles who sort of cancelled one another out. Then there was a knockover. Here's the quick tap, and it's gone over like an orca. Big man, athletic, diving over the top. And Pierre Blanc, that's a fantastic try and a strike back from Stade Francais.
His 5th try of the season. He does like to poach them from close range. And that's interesting. That brings it, makes it interesting now for us, doesn't it? We thought that Toulouse were running all over Stade Francais in that opening 10-15 minutes or so, but the Parisians are made of sterner stuff these days. Not lying down. It's been a really good passage of play they've had in the last 5 minutes. Segonde, no mistake from him, and the scores are level. It's 10-all.
There's no doubt Stade Francais will have been reminded of how Harlequins did last week, because Harlequins came here, they were down by a lot of points, and they came back into the game. So, you know, it would have been reiterated to the Stade Francais players, stay in it. There will be opportunities, and you know, Pierre Blanc, they may not always come along like that. He made his own opportunity, but they will be there, and he took it.
Well, the kickoff didn't go 10 metres. So both teams making mistakes from the restart. That was an odd one.
Suddenly starts, you know, the things start going against Toulouse, and it wasn't a great kick. He hasn't really looked, I mean, beautiful, you know, in-swinging kick, the last one, Ramos, but maybe he hasn't looked completely fluent tonight with his kicking.
Well, it looked like a last-minute change of kicker, a little flip from Malia to Ramos, and it was all a bit rushed. Well, Stade Francais very much in this game then. They've now got the scrummage on the halfway line.
There's some beef in that bunch of reserves. They're just going around to graze on that lush green grass in the corner of the field. It's 20 minutes of chewing the cud.
Do you think they live on a plant-based diet? I have my doubts.
I don't know what they are, but I would not want to host them for a weekend.
Flexion. Lié.
Well, Weber has the put in on halfway. It's a solid scrummage from the pink shirts of Stade Francais. They've grown into this game and they've moved the ball quickly. Segonde, there's a little bit of room. Marchand has it, looking for support. Etienne wasn't able to give it to him, but it's come back now. Gabriel drives his way in, and he's held up. Still Stade Francais calm. That was a lucky escape for them. They may have lost the ball in the turnover here. Which side is that coming back on? It's come back for Toulouse. Good turnover. Oh, and a great touch as well. Little smile from Paul Grout. Sometimes when it's going with you, it all goes with you.
Nipola Lala there, and Brad Weber fighting really hard to maintain control of that ball. He just couldn't do it. He was a bit unlucky, and this was a little bit lucky, but it's all part of it. Pinpoint accuracy from Paul Grout.
Blanc goes long. That's messy. Briat flapped at it slightly, and it's come back for Toulouse. Now what can they build from here as Cyril Bale loses the ball in the tackle, or is that Rumar loses the ball in the tackle? It's the combination.
And he hits really good lines, Alexandre Rumar, but on this occasion I'm not sure he was expecting the ball. I think he thought he might have overrun it. Bit of an overthrow, or definitely a messy sort of a tap from Stade Francais. Toulouse get on the front foot very quickly. Richie Arnold, biggest halfback in the world here. Rumar realises he may have been a little bit of space there, but like I say, I have a feeling that he thought he'd overrun it and wasn't going to get the pass.
Tremendous sight. Stade Ernest Wallon in its nighttime glory as spring is breaking. There'll be shirt sleeves in the stadium. Not the big raincoats and winter woolies that we've had to put up with over the last few weeks and months. We're heading back to the good, fresh fields of the south of France. It's a high ball, it's an awkward one. Habel Kufner does it very well indeed. Clings on well. Bounces off the tacklers. Lester Etienne moves to the link position. Cyril Bale takes the ball on. Weber again. In the thick of it. Goes the aerial route. Etienne is chasing and takes it well. Another good take in the air. We've seen a few of those. Boudon always looking to find that gap in midfield. He's not a centre who charges at his opposite number. He does look to charge into a gap between the centres, but at the moment it's Gabriag. Just came off the referee, and that will be called back. It'll be a Stade Francais scrimmage.
He had some assistant refereeing there from 1B Weber, who said, well, it's touched you, it's our ball, we were last in possession, we get the scrum. So I think if he'd let that play, that was getting a bit messy behind the line for Stade Francais. Here's Brad Weber giving his advice there.
It's tremendous the way scrum halves are the best referees on the field, isn't it?
Well, and I like their manner too. Hardly ever cheeky, hardly ever assertive. They're always very polite and respectful.
It won't let up either, because if Brad Weber does need a breather, there's a bloke called Rory Cockott on the bench who's also a pretty good referee.
A little bit of experience too, hasn't he?
There he is.
37 years of age. A lot of experience to bring to the party.
Flexion!
Well, it is a Stade Francais scrummage. Again, it's rock solid. Habel Kufner brings it away. Over the top they go, but it's comfortably taken and immediately sent flying back upfield into the Stade Francais 22. Segond is behind it. He's going to use the boot too.
It's a big gain from Toulouse. Wasn't particularly clean at the back of the Stade Francais, the scrum there. Brad Weber, really the only option he had was to hit that one long. Ramos was well positioned. You see him sprinting across there as soon as Weber got the ball. Just that pendulum they work at the back there to cover both touch lines. And he took the quick, well, not even a tap, he quickly off the mark. And he's made a big gain. They're now back in the Stade Francais half. Loss of Stade Francais there, Tom Lombard.
Rumar with the collect. Peter Aki on the drive in midfield. And looking for the gap almost through that time was Barassi. Ramos. Oh, nice bit of work from Capuozzo, the Italian. He's flung out of play. The ball's still in play, though. Toulouse still careering on. Richie Arnold taken late. Oh, there's a bit of a shunty going on there. Still with the black shirts at Toulouse. They're approaching the 22. Now moving it. Ramos. Capuozzo. Capuozzo's on the fly. Lovely pass from Capuozzo. That is brilliant. And the try for Paul Grau, his 7th of the season. That was spectacular stuff from Toulouse.
2 touches in the space of 20 seconds from that man, Kapawat. So each time he looked dangerous, almost got hauled over the touchline, didn't he, Barney? And then he popped out on the other side, gassed it into a gap, and in the end came back in with beautiful dexterity. Here he is, his first touch, almost across the sideline, keeps the ball alive, and from there he gets right out the other side. We'll see him pop in just here. Here he goes, makes his presence felt, and gets in that little schistera, they call it here in France, away to the support of Paul Grau on the inside.
Lovely little shimmy and a change of direction at pace. It's fantastic. This is what we love about rugby.
I was about to say what a travesty, we've gone almost half an hour and you haven't had to mention his name yet, and then he pops up twice in the same movement. Toulouse scores.
I was thinking exactly the same thing. Yeah, it was. That was pretty much his first touch, well, his first 2 touches really.
Come a long way. He's had a fantastic 2 or 3 seasons, obviously in the Italian team, but since he was playing, I think, at Blagnac in one of the lower divisions before he moved to Toulouse, as almost puts the extras through.
He came from Grenoble.
Was it? Yes, so it's been meteoric, and he's deserved it. You know, he's scored some fantastic tries. He sets up tries like he did just now. He's got acceleration, pace, awareness, balance, presence of mind, and obviously good skills.
When you pay money to go and watch a rugby match, that's what you want to see, isn't it? It's that kind of game. Rumar collects. Richie Arnold leans in. Practicing his planks there. And Dowie. Another one who's off to fresh pastures at the end of the season. He's off to Clermont. Stade Francais still coming. It's messy ball at the moment. They want to tidy that up a little bit. They've still got it, that's the main thing. It's slow ball. Oh dear, that's a fumble from Segond. And that is not what they needed right then. A little bit of carelessness. It was as if they got a little bit confused with what they were actually doing there.
Well, he obviously wasn't expecting it, Segond. At the same time, you've got to be ready at all times. He's organising, didn't realise the ball was coming out, so just one of those little moments. They do happen sometimes, and he was trying to organise, marshal the troops, organise them further out wide to get some space, and the ball was on its way from Brad Weber.
Yes, not a moment that Joris Segond will look back on kindly, I don't think. But as you say, these things do happen.
He worked pretty hard to not have them happen, and they'll be looking at that during the week. Why, what was going on here? A little bit of a disconnect between the 9 and the 10. Probably not one single person's fault. I'm not trying to blame Brad Weber for it, although I'm obviously going to come down on the side of the fly half every time. Halfback should know better,
as opposed to the New Zealander. Okay, well, fair enough.
Well, yeah. I'm not a former Chiefs player, I'll tell you that. No sympathy there.
There's a few big names in that Toulouse injury list. Kinghorn and Alala, 2 of them. 5 big names injured, and you still can turn out a team with about 12 internationals in it. 11 internationals starting. Not too shabby.
Lié.
So Toulouse under a little bit of pressure on the scrummage now. They've twisted and turned, and in fact they have been penalised. That was great work from Stade Francais. Dorian Aldeguerri, the man pinged. So Clement Castet getting congratulations. Indeed, I think Hugo Ndaya.
Yeah, they got penalised for trying to do this in the very first scrum of the game, and Toulouse knocked the points over, but Here they've done it more effectively. So just trying to twist that scrum around, trying to throw the Toulouse scrum off. I'm no expert and I'm not pretending to be, but they clearly disrupted that Toulouse scrum enough to gain the penalty. So bonus possession for Stade Francais, which could have been a dangerous situation there for them.
Well, they've given themselves a chance now. Still 7 minutes to go in this first half. They will want to try. Get another try on the board. Gabriag. Still there. Per Blanc, the try scorer earlier on, has the ball now. Weber with him. Weber. Where has he gone? It is there for... I've lost it. Well, I was wondering what was going on there. Use it or lose it, and they didn't use it, and they did lose it. Careless, little shake of the head from Karim Ghazal.
It was never really well structured from the start, was it? They tried to get going forward and it twisted around a little bit. Came around to this side here where they lost a little bit of control and support, maybe Stade Francais. When it went down, because it was a maul, I think the referees are a bit more lenient around whether the hands can stay on it, and there were definitely a couple of Toulouse hands coming through there, preventing it from coming out, but the onus is with Stade Francais when the maul's been created to get that ball out.
Flexion.
They settle once more.
Lié.
Haven't seen much of Peter Arquis yet either, have we? So
Not yet, no.
he'll probably come and set up a try now.
We saw a flash of
Allez,
him
on prend
about
un
5
peu plus
minutes ago,
d'espace, s'il vous plaît.
just
On pèse
before
pas
the
sur
try.
l'adversaire. Deux équipes.
Paul Grout hiding his
Allez,
instructions.
distance,
Doesn't want any
stabilité.
Parisian faces to see him.
Big William server. Part of the game he probably gets most excited about. He
Flexion.
doesn't mind if there are a few resets, gets to see the scrum hit 3 or 4 times.
Chat.
Long-standing hooker for France. Rumar breaks off the back. Gets a little bit of pace up, but is dragged down by Weber. Toulouse again using the foot. That's a lovely kick, and that has made them territory. Malia going pretty well at number 10. He's played a few times there this season already, so he's no stranger.
I think that's a 50-22. We just have to check where the ball was cleared from, whether they'd actually gone over the halfway line here and whether it was thrown back. But no, I don't think it was. I think certainly the kick was made from well within his own half, so long as that previous ruck hadn't gone over the halfway, which I don't think it had. So that was a great kick, hence the cheering from the crowd. And you'd have to say maybe poor coverage from Stade Francais at the back there.
Yep, and it's Julien Marchand who lays his paws upon the ball and prepares for this line out. Good clean take from Richie Arnold at the front.
Dans les 5.
The engines are running. The maul is not shifting terribly quickly. Castro Ferreira, the flanker, had it. There's your man, Peter Arquis, held up. Oh dear. And then there's a little fumble from Malia, the man I was just picking up a moment ago.
Well, he just got a little bit of ahead of himself, which players do. He was sort of loading up to throw a long pass out, I think. Both of the backs outside him had started getting some width. Probably wasn't Paul Groul's best ever pass, wobbly a little bit, but certainly one that Malia would expect to take. And like I say, I think he was loading up to throw that long pass. Here's the ball, which started moving a little bit infield, but Stade Francais have been defending that line out more really, really well. Haven't given Toulouse any opportunity to start their advance and get some momentum up.
Well, it has been noticeable. I mean, you were saying at the beginning they're a very good defensive side, Stade Francais. It's something they've worked on very much. That's the influence of Paul Gustard, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
He's really brought that on board, and it'll be interesting. I think he's going to be sitting in your seat in a couple of weeks' time, so it'll be interesting to hear Paul Gustard. Oh my goodness me! Penalty for Toulouse, and it's kicking off.
Headband's been pulled down a little bit too.
It's Hugo Ndaya who went straight up in the air, bent double almost. And that was a throwback to rugby that I used to play many years ago, even before you, Andrew.
Would have happened probably 36 minutes ago, wouldn't it? Not to get through the first 2 minutes without a sorting out period. Oh, interesting to see what I'd love to know more about. See that they were up in the air straight away from the hit, Stade Francais. So whether they didn't coordinate their hit well enough, or whether Toulouse went slightly early, just beat the gun, timed it perfectly. Really, you'd have to say in that case.
Yeah. Well, there may be. It's a long time since I was ever in the front row, but Cyril Bile looked really as though he got under him in the old-fashioned way, and poor old Hugo Ndaya collected air miles for that one.
Not something you can do every scrum, is it? You just, I guess, must have to pick your moment, and if you just sense a little opportunity, the opposition's maybe a little bit close and you can get under them, then an international like Bile will make it count.
Ramos. No mistake at all. Another 3 points on the board. And Toulouse stretched the lead back out to 10 points. They were leading 10-0. It was pegged back to 10-10. And now back to 20-10. We're up to 20-10, back to 10 points advantage. Just a minute or so before we break for half-time. I think Toulouse will be quite happy with that scoreline at half-time. Maybe Stade Francais will be as well, although I get the feeling they'll be a bit disappointed not to be a bit tighter.
I think there might be a couple of disappointments there for Toulouse. Firstly, that they let Stade come back into that from 10 points down. I mean, that's not a match-winning gap, but that they let them come back so easily. Also, maybe that the territorial advantage they've had hasn't converted so much into points, perhaps, Toulouse.
Closing up the corridor. Free kick for Stade Francais. So maybe they will get a little opportunity, a final opportunity to get some more points on the board. Weber with the quick tap. Gabriel goes driving in. Weber in support. Habel Kufner takes the ball to the 22. Boudon is held up. He's getting help from Marchant. It's not there. The hoot has gone. This is going to be the last play of the half. Well, they've got the advantage. Hamdawi looks to bring it back. Segon with a little kick through. It's going to go long. They're going to come back for that penalty.
It's a bit of a shame, I wonder if Segon knew that he had the advantage here. I mean, 3 points will be nice for them to go in at one converted try down. It's not a bad result for Stade Francais, but perhaps a little bit of patience there. It was a great run, a great angle from Habel Kufner charging in there, which threatened to get Stade Francais really on the front foot and partly behind that defensive line. Morgan Parra a bit disappointed, of course. Maybe a little bit of patience when they had the advantage to play out a couple more phases and see if they could roll the dice a little bit, go for that the big reward. But 3 points will be enough for them to go into half-time after the buzzer.
Joris Segon has had a slightly mixed first half. Couple of errors costing Stade Francais, but he's been on the money with the boot. And he's good again this time, so the points are on the board. That is half-time. It's been an entertaining first half with those 3 tries, and it's Toulouse who are leading by 20 points to 13.
Ouais, avec Romain Briat. Romain, une certaine efficacité quand même dans ce match. Qu'est-ce que vous retenez, vous, de ces 40 premières minutes?
Romain Briat.
On fait une bonne entame. Après, voilà, on sait qu'il faut rester vigilant face à cette équipe de Toulouse. Ils sont capables de tout, de jouer dans 5 mètres,
vigilant because it's a Toulouse team.
De rester vigilant,
Good
d'être
first
discipliné.
half. We've got to keep our discipline.
Sur les bases sur cette seconde période.
Merci.
And we've got to lay the base during the course of the second period.
Paul, qu'est-ce qui va faire la différence selon vous dans ce match? Il va falloir continuer à jouer ou resserrer tout ça?
What's the difference?
Continuer sur ce lancer et un peu essayer d'améliorer cette discipline. On prend des points faciles à la fin. Voilà,
Again, talking about the discipline, got to keep the discipline more, giving away too many penalties.
Engagement, je pense que les gros ils font un bon travail et derrière voilà, il faut qu'on allume la mèche dès qu'on peut quoi. Qu'on joue les ballons.
The big guys have got to keep going in the front and we've got to keep it working at the back. There you go.
Francais, and there's everything to gain for them, really.
I was just wondering if players really think about recent history between teams, because in the last 5 meetings, with Stade Francais. Toulouse haven't won a single one.
À vous de
They've drawn one and lost four. So Stade Francais are a little bit of a hex team for them, and whether that will play on their minds a little bit, I don't know.
The most recent meeting, of course, when Stade Francais hosted back at the start of December, was a pretty convincing win, comprehensive win for Stade Francais, 27-12. So, you know, that sort of confidence in the back of their mind as well will be potentially invaluable.
And also just looking at Toulouse in the top 14, their last 5 matches, they've won 2 and lost 3. So those little demons can play at the back of the mind. We're off and underway though, with a ball lofted deep into Stade Francais territory and immediately collected, brought out. Brad Weber has his hands on it, as he did for much of the first half. Golden Diet not getting terribly far with the ball in hand. He's driven backwards. Segond launches the ball high. It's kept in. Now, what can Toulouse do with this? They like a little bit of broken space. Malia. Grau. Looking to make some way in the midfield. They've got they've got a man over out on the wing. Lebel didn't get to him, but still with Castro Ferreira, 20-year-old flanker. Jack Willis going for route 1, not getting that. Sets the ball back though. Ruma, nice quick feed. Now they got a little bit of space out wide. Chip through, the chasers are after it. It's going to be pressure on Segond. He is scragged to the ground by Pierre-Louis Barassi. The touch judge has his flag up. It will be a line out. Good attacking position for Toulouse.
A really well-weighted kick there from Peter Aki. They do have a tendency to want to attack, and they were straightening and looking a little bit ominous here when they finally got this ball out into space, the Toulouse backs. But Aki thinking, look, there was enough cover coming across, and maybe a tackle there would have conceded possession. Put a great kick through and a great chase as well from Barassi. Made the hit and ended up putting the pressure on to go across the sideline.
And what a position. 5 metres from the line. It's well taken by Thibaut Flamand. Well, this is good defence from Stade Francais. Shunting the ball backwards. But it is with Marchand. Aki feeds. Now is there a bit of space? Oh, there's a load of space out wide. Can Lebel do anything with it? He's got work to do. Couldn't get through the tacklers, but lays it back well there. Just 5 metres or so from the line. Jack Willis driving through, almost up to the line. Grau feeding once more. Bale is held up. Toulouse just moving across field. Surely there's space out wide. There is. Peter Aki is over. He's through, and that is the Toulouse try to kick off the second half, their third of the night. Terrifically worked. It came from quite a long way back. And Peter Aki touches down for the 4th time this season.
Firepower absolutely across the park for Toulouse. They didn't even really do it clinically at the finish. They struggled to get the ball wide a couple of times, desperate to get it out there. Lebel had to chop back in after a few more phases. The forwards muscling up again. They've been better carrying the ball than they have been in the mauls, and finally there was a little bit of space. Like I say, it wasn't perfect. Peter Aki still had a little bit of work to do, but the power to go over where Segond was placed out on defence out wide. They've managed to isolate him and put Peter Aki, a strong man, against a potentially a weaker man, and over he goes.
Yeah, there was a good take off his toes, wasn't it? Not the best pass for him, but he collected well and finished perfectly. Thomas Ramos back on kicking duty. Start of the second half. I say back on kicking duty, he's always been on kicking duty. This to push the score out to 14 points. It's looking good. Through she goes, and Toulouse have a little bit of distance now. They lead by 27 points to 13. Well, it's too early to say that's the game changer or the game breaker, but they'll certainly feel a little bit more relaxed after it. 5 minutes into the second half, still 35 minutes to go. Plenty of time for Stade Francais to work their way back into this game. Coming through quickly, too quickly.
Toujours à l'intérieur. 8 hors jeu.
Offside. Giovanni Habel-Kufner, a little bit too quick out the traps. The crowd making plenty of noise. They're enjoying this. In France, the French press particularly, they like to, and they have done for some years, like to big this fixture up as their Classico.
Habel-Kufner lining that ball up for quite some time. The referee saying that it was still in there. Paul Grau was getting around and starting to sort of move it back. Looked like it might have popped out the side a little bit, hence why he started his run. But that's been an incredible touch finder from Toulouse. I mean, they've carved off probably 50 metres there on not a great angle.
Back in Toulouse possession. The black shirts beginning to impose themselves now in the start of this second half, but it's what they did at the start of the first half as well. Ruma drives in. He's got support from Aki. Rao has his hands on it. Cyril Bale. Once again, I think it's Habel-Kufner coming through. A bit too quickly.
Numéro 2.
Well, he's gone back to where Stade Francais was supposed to release the tackled player who'd managed to get his knees on the ground. Now, there was kind of a strip at that point as well, and whoever it was from Stade Francais, I think he's saying it was Pierre Blanc, actually released the ball back onto the Toulouse side, knowing that he'd done wrong. And I think the referee was maybe in two minds as to whether ultimately the penalty should go. Here's where the knees get on the ground. He's ripped it. There he goes, plays it back for Toulouse. And in the end, the referee said, look, they were disadvantaged enough with messy ball to merit the penalty. A bit unlucky, really. Well, the referee was pretty clear in his calling out that it was a tackle and to release. Opportunity now, obviously, to go out past the two converted try margin. And the problem really is just for Stade Francais, they're not a high-scoring team. So while their defence has been really good most of the game, just conceding these extra little 3 points here and there, a couple of soft tries, they probably could have stopped that last try as well, and it just starts getting out beyond them.
Yeah, the average score at home for Toulouse, 37-18. We're pushing up towards it. Over goes the penalty. It's now 30 points to 13. But a sign of their pragmatism today, the ruthlessness that they opted to go for the points. Rory Cocotte makes his way onto the field.
Some reinforcement in the scrum there as well. Malakidze is coming in the front row in 23. You can see him there.
They need the quick riposte. JJ Van der Mesch coming on as well. So, yep, a little bit of extra bulk. Cleared by Stade Francais. And Dowie can't get his hands on it, but Rumar can. It's stripped away from him. The knock on. Stade Francais. Breathe again.
There's been a couple of times where there have been uncharacteristic errors from Toulouse. You don't see Rumar drop the ball like that many times in the season. Great take again from Lebel. He's been superb in the air. Well, when he's allowed to get in the air, he got knocked over there before he could get up, but he's been superb in the air tonight.
Non, je vais aller de l'autre côté.
Definitely don't want to close up shop Toulouse.
There's a few grey whiskers in that beard of Rory Cocotte now.
Vous voulez le refaire ou pas?
It's not going well. He was meant to retire, wasn't he, at the end of last season from Castro? Did he go to? I think he went for 1 year, or he went on basically onto the coaching staff at Castro, then moved to the coaching staff at Stade Francais, and he's been playing again.
Allez, même marque à position. Reprise à flexion, s'il te plaît.
Began his career in South Africa, of course, with the Golden Lions and the Sharks before moving to Castres in 2011.
Flexion.
So the Sharks, another Durban boy.
Lié.
Banana boy, they're called. Don't ask me why.
Certainly used to be. I don't know what they're called now. Good drive from Stade Francais. Fingers, was that a little knock on? May have been, but the referee has seen an infringement. And the back slaps are going there. Georgi Melikidze is a happy man. And it's a penalty for Stade Francais. Now, you're in their position. I was going to say, do you go for post? But obviously, they're not.
Well, they've defended the line-out maul really, really well tonight. So, you know, normally you find the teams who have a good defensive maul obviously will have a good attacking maul because they get to train it all together and they understand the mechanics of it. That's an impressive scrum from Stade Francais. Here's Cocotte throwing himself into it as soon as he's on the hurdle.
Just a reminder that Rory Cocotte is 37 years old.
Malvaka comes on for Toulouse as well, so reinforcements in both front rows. It's been a bit of a mixed bag tonight. It's really hard to say who's had the upper hand in the scrum.
It's gone in phases a little bit, hasn't it?
Let's see how this line-out maul goes from Stade Francais, their first opportunity to do so.
Middle of the line, it's well taken, it's clean take. Père Blanc feeds, it's ripped away by Peteraki.
Terminé.
Coming to the rescue of Toulouse.
Jouez le 9.
Nabbed it out of the hands of Van der Mesch. And Toulouse defending well and clearing the ball upfield. And Dowie likes to run from here. Not a lot of space for him. But lays it back well. Gabriag driving in. And continuing. Stade Francais going nicely here. Van der Mesch. Gabriag fancies his chances. He's held up. In goes Romain Briat. The forwards taking it in turns. Ryan Chapuis this time. The other flanker. It's there for Cocotte, but the penalty's been awarded. Great work from Jack Willis.
It really was. They were looking pretty good there, Stade Francais, around the fringes, and it just took that little hint of a player getting isolated and Willis pounced. And not just the decision on when to go for the ball, which opportunity to try and take, but the execution as well, to get himself over it, make it really conspicuous to the referee that he was trying to get the ball, not just stapling over the top, and perfectly done. I'm a little bit puzzled as to why Stade Francais did not just try that line out more. We see Cocotte there, everybody, all hands to the pump, trying to muscle it up and close, and it just needed this one opportunity from Willis over the top of the ball. Why Stade Francais tried to do something a little bit cuter with the line out and distribute the ball rather than just work on that direct approach, I don't know.
Yep. Oh, they've got another chance. The ball going long at the line out. Etienne feeding. Boudon going, well, he is going straight at the man on this occasion, and the little chip through. Oh, it's messy. Capuozzo manages to get his boot on it, drills it upfield, but it's still in play. Boudon brings it again. Romain Briat decides to change direction. Fancies himself as a fullback, Romain Briat. He's on the floor now, and it's Gabriag taking a more traditional forwards route. Cocotte with the feed. Etienne looking outside and in. Still going, Lester Etienne. He's a strong lad. But is he clinging on too long? Well, he isn't, but it looks as though Peter Aki may have been penalised.
The crowd doesn't like it, but Toulouse certainly was playing that ball on the ground where they weren't supposed to be. They sensed the opportunity, they sort of went in and did whatever they could to get the ball, and that's what you want your players to do, but the referee's patience finally wore thin.
Yeah, I think in the end it was Francois Cross who was the man penalised. Well, welcome to the big time. Andy Timo, 19 years of age, began his career with Massy just outside Paris. A real feeder club for Stade Francais. Leo Barre also played for Massy in this team. So Andy Timo, he made a couple of appearances in the Champions Cup. This is his first taste of top 14 rugby. So welcome, Andy Timo. Gabriag has it. Père Blanc has done some sterling work at the back of the mauls. Cocotte now feeds. Boudon crashes into the defence, into Barassi. Still there. It's on the pink side. Cocotte looking for it. The space out wide. Takuwanga really would like that ball in his hands. They've barely used him today. Has Cocotte seen him? I think he might have done. Is he going to get the ball though? Not yet. He's coming to find it now, Takuwanga, but it goes the other way. Still with Stade Francais, a little knock on from Père Blanc, and Toulouse come away. The long chase is on. There's pace on both sides. The bounce of the ball, oh, it's gone. This is going to be Thomas Ramos going through for the try. Oh my word. That came from nothing. It came from the other end of the field. And Thomas Ramos is through for Toulouse's fourth try of the night.
Well, that try had a little bit of everything. They say you make your own luck, and Toulouse made plenty of it there. They turned the ball over, or it got dropped by Stade Francais. They thumped it away. Here's this missed pass, missed Fundamesh. It got knocked off the knees of the big boys in the chase, and the crowd, you've got to wonder whether Ramos was actually onside, or no, it was when some other player was onside. It was Ramos. And the presence of mind from Malia just to put the ball on the toe, the little grubber kick, absolutely brilliant. The skill there, the pressure from Capuozzo may have been a question as to whether they were across the sideline there too, but in the end, like I say, you make your own luck, whether it's the bounce of the ball or decisions of the officials. And Toulouse, the beneficiaries again.
Well, there's a picture of Takuwanga who was begging for the ball, wasn't he? He was in a lot of space. We haven't seen him really stretch his legs today. Thomas Ramos gets to line up yet another kick at goal. And I do wonder, 35-13. It stays 35-13 that time, just sliding wide.
Here's the end of it. Beautiful little grubber kick from Malia for Ramos. Like I say, I think if you went back to the start of that, Ramos took the, as the Toulouse crowd gets into party mode, well, that's not really the best angle for that. Last thing we all needed on a Sunday night after having eaten.
Yeah, apologies about that.
But Ramos got an early, a bit of a head start going up the support line in the middle. They used to call it the fat man's track.
So we've had a few changes on both sides. Trying to keep you up to speed with that, but at the moment it's Joris Segond on the fly, and this is going to be a try up the other end for Lester Etienne. From the restart, Stade Francais hit back immediately. Lester Etienne having a fairly straightforward walk in for that try. His third of the season. Toulouse just going to sleep a little bit from that restart.
Well, you said he's had a mixed bag tonight. Joris Second, and this is a huge dummy. I mean, that's a bag of sweets, and it's absolutely beautiful. And then the timing of the pass, out of nowhere, there was plenty of pressure on him. Watch it here, it'd be great. I'm sure the camera will go too. Yes, it did. He got everyone.
Well, Thomas Ramos has had a great game, but he really fell for that one, didn't he?
I don't think anyone genuinely thought he was a threat. They knew the threat was on the outside, where the ball eventually arrived, so well played.
To be fair, it's not something we see very often from Joris Second. He's been keeping that one up his sleeve. Etienne with the try. Second will have the opportunity to nab back a couple of extras, but it's not going to happen. So just the 5 points restored. 35 points to 18. It's still a big, big gap. A big, big mountain for Stade Francais to climb in the as we approach the last quarter of this match. But I suppose one little thing, there may be a bonus point element as well. They won't want Toulouse to pick up a 5-point win here. 4 tries to 2. They need 3 tries more than the opposition.
Jouez-le!
Ramos takes it cleanly. And immediately the penalty's given the other way. Parablanc gets going. Did that even go 10 metres? No, it didn't.
Been a bit of a tap kick specialist, hasn't he, Parablanc, tonight with off the penalties?
Well, a little bit wrong-footed. So Second will have a good opportunity once again to chew up some territory and give Stade Francais a really good chance from the line out of nabbing another try.
That is a good kick. He's got to about 7 metres out from the line there. They didn't get a lot of traction the last time. Question will be how long that man stays on the bench, Antoine Dupont, who we just saw. This is really close, and if they can get a better platform set, we still haven't seen their best maul, I don't think, yet on attack.
It's nicely done by Julien Horry. Replacement back row. And the feed is there. Boudon goes inside. Marchand is supporting. The ball has been turned over. And it's coming back on the Toulouse side. More great defence from the home side.
I think that was Jack Willis again who pounced on that opportunity, yes. Very quick on it. Wasn't a bad run in the end, although he maybe gave his feet away. Boudon just got a little bit isolated, and Toulouse quick to pounce.
Jack Willis is really proving himself, isn't he, as a jackler of note.
Yeah, and a lot of it's about that decision-making process as well. Obviously, when you make that decision to go and steal the ball, the execution needs to be just right, but just working out where are your real opportunities, not chasing lost causes all the time. We've seen some fantastic ones over history, and part of their strength was the decision-making process, whether it was Richie McCaw or George Smith, Josh Kronfeld, if you really want to go back to the old days.
Josh Kronfeld, that does take me back.
Neil Back.
This is the period of the game where it could go in any direction, because the replacements are on. We've actually got I think all the replacements almost on. All the forward replacements on both sides. Will we lose the rhythm and structure, or will we find a new one? It's not a clean scrummage from the new packs.
Vous êtes tous les deux orientés vers l'intérieur. Gardez l'axe de poussée, s'il vous plaît.
Stade Francais has actually probably had the better of the scrums in the last while.
Allez.
Fair bit of strain going on there. And like you say, it's interesting to see the non-starters, how that changes things. Obviously, it's not just about the front rowers, is it? Full pack effort, and the cohesion so important.
think they call them finishers now, don't they? Give it a more dramatic Marvel world ambiance. The finishers are on. Well, Toulouse have got a little bit of defending here to do. They've got a good cushion, 17 points, so nothing in the immediate danger. But again, the front row's going down. It's untidy. The binding from the new players, perhaps not up to speed. We've got two new front rows on, basically.
correctement jusqu'à que vous arriviez, d'accord? Donc faites ce qu'il faut, sinon je vais trouver une solution.
So the referee, yeah, basically saying, work it out, lads. Yeah.
Let's find a solution. Okay.
No coaching from the ref on this one.
At least 6 different opinions there.
Well, if they don't know by now. I suggest the binding not quite right, or the distance not quite right.
Backs aren't unhappy, get a bit of a breather again. The forwards are having their fun.
But Andrew, it is one of those things you see regularly around this time when you have the new front rows coming in. The first couple of scrums are always a mess. Once again, they're struggling to lose, but they've been given the penalty. Whether Stade Francais were boring in and twisting. See from my side, maybe around the other side.
Saying it was Malakidze 23, and it couldn't work out from his arm action whether it was boring in or lifting up.
Yeah.
Or both.
Malakidze penalised and it's well cleared. Let's move swiftly on. Leo Barre is coming on for Joris Segond. So Malvaka, the new thrower, it's untidy. Malvaka, though, is stronger than Maita, the 21-year-old Stade Francais replacement hooker, wins that battle. Ball spilled forward, though, illegally, says the referee. At the moment, the force is with Toulouse.
Bit of the rub of the green too, I think. Toulouse, that throw from Malvaka didn't look particularly straight. I think if it had gone on, it would have hit probably the centres 10 metres back from the line out. But finally, Stade Francais desperate to get that ball, just putting their weight on their hands, going past the ball and dragging it back. It was effective but illegal. Well, they've gone right past both of them there in unison. Looked pretty.
That's good teamwork.
Pretty in a brutal sort of a way, of course. I mean, that's worse in the back saying some actions of the forwards were pretty.
You were never summoned up to fill in occasionally in the forwards, I imagine. Good take, but not straight. So Malvaka, as you just called earlier, hasn't quite got his compass going, has he?
I think the referee might have had second thoughts about that last throw as well, so it was in the back of his mind to be extra vigilant on this one.
Tout est bon sauf ça, d'accord? Restez bien et travaillez dans l'axe.
I do have to put my hand up though, Barney, and say that I packed down in a scrum one time. Got it on the side of the scrum in a test match, no less, but thankfully we had a pretty good scrum and my efforts weren't really needed.
Who was that against?
On the side of the scrum against Australia, I think we put Ruben Thorne, who was playing at number 6, and he went out to first receiver to truck the ball forward because they didn't really back me to get over the advantage line. And all he said to me was, when you're packing in, just keep the props bum tight against the lock and against his fellow front rowers. Keep it in.
Great nice. That should be the title of your autobiography, I suppose.
Keep his bum in.
Keep it in. Again, the scrummage goes to ground. Kuanga hasn't really seen a lot of the ball. Mr. Etienne waiting for another opportunity. Time running out though. 15 minutes remaining, 17 points the gap. Stade Francais need 2 tries quickly and then some. At the moment they are defending their own line. They're just outside the 22. Rory Cockott feeds the scrummage. It holds up. Away they come. Barre off the boot. Into the 22. Plenty of time for Ramos to fire that back. Into touch once more. Looking at the options. Kylian Madawi going for the quick one.
Si vous êtes à plus de 10 mètres.
Slight gain for Stade Francais. They have to start again in their own turf, and I don't think Toulouse is worried at all. But it was a good return kick from Francois Ramos. But just that long kick from Barre. It's where you see some of the players these days starting to go back to the torpedo or the spiral punt again, because the drop punt, the one that goes end over end, has a lot more float on it, and it's a lot more easy to read as a defender. So the spiral punt, a little bit coming back into vogue at times, where it just doesn't give you as much time, plus the bounce is a lot less predictable. Interesting to see if that ball had got a little bit closer to the sideline. Once it bounced, Ramos was pretty worried about it going to 50-22.
Yeah, a little bit of a pause at the moment, a water break. I said at the start, it's about 20-21 degrees in Toulouse. It's a warm evening. And it's entirely reasonable to have a moment just to get some water on board. These last 14 minutes, 13-14 minutes are going to be hard work, especially for Stade Francais. They trailed by just 7 points at half-time, 20 points to 13. They've been rather blown off the park in the second half. Those tries from Aki and Ramos, taking Toulouse out to a 35-13 lead. Etienne getting a little bit of a bonus try, really. It came from out of nowhere, really. But the Parisians with a long way to go, and if it stays like this, they will lose top spot to their opponents. Toulouse will go top tonight with victory, and then Stade Francais are going to have to just look over their shoulders to see how Bordeaux-Bègles are doing. And they play them in their next match in Paris next week. Stade Francais waiting for the ball to come out. It's taking a long time. It's slow ball, very slow ball. Over the top again goes Barry. There's a hint of predictability about that. Jack Willis gets his hands on it. Toulouse looking to go forward, but perhaps this time Willis holding on a bit too long.
Well, he was the victim of his own style of play, wasn't it? They got on there, I think it was Melakidze, was it, who got straight on that, did really well, went for the ball, held on to the ball, got driven back, but he had the legal rights to it, so really well played. They did well to hold that ball from the maul, Stade Francais, because they'd coughed it up, I think.
Barre manages to find some ground.
It's been messy. They've definitely been a lot better on the defensive maul than their attacking maul. There's Melakidze getting straight over the ball. The first cleaner wasn't really straight enough, so didn't take the threat away.
He's done well, hasn't he, Melakidze, since he came on? He's done that 2 or 3 times now. But oh dear. Well, that's a shame. Mamadou Maitz, the hooker, just 21 years old, not getting his throw straight. Easily picked off by Toulouse. The clearance comes in and the danger passes.
Looks like Paul Grau might go the whole 80 minutes. A lot of rugby coming up, and He's started a lot of games this season, but I think it shows obviously who the main man is that they're relying on.
A little bit of a fumble from Grau. He's scragged to the ground by Etienne, but does well. Sorry, by Maita, excuse me. Toulouse still have it. Grau rolls it back. And goes over the top. Takuanga gets his hands on it at last, but doesn't get any space to run. Kokot tries to go around the corner on the short side. What happened there? The ball appeared to go forward. It's been a bit a pinball in this period. The referee's not budging. The crowd, I think, has seen something. Knight is held on. Kokot looks for the ball. Boudon changes direction. He's almost found the gap, but Willis managed to catch him round the middle. That's Toulouse ball. That's great work again from Jack Willis. Gets his hands on it, makes a few meters, lays it on. Now the tide turns once again. Long ball drilled forward. Back they come for the penalty.
Probably been the difference tonight, Jack Willis, in a lot of ways. Just the bonus possession he's gained for Toulouse at the right moment, at crucial moments, just defusing Stade Francais momentum and getting excitement up from Toulouse. They are a team that likes to play with excitement from turnovers or mistakes, and the extra possession they've got out of Jack Willis tonight has been really important.
We've just been through a period around about 10 minutes or so with coinciding with the replacements. The game went a little bit slow. The ball was coming back very slowly from rucks on both sides. It does appear as though it's just picked up again, that maybe the new combinations have worked out where they're playing or how they're playing, and suddenly the game has shifted a gear.
This time they didn't even have to go straight for the ball. There were two of them in there. Ainu as well alongside Willis, and they both drove off the ball, which is of course a fully legitimate and very effective way to make a turnover as well.
The line out goes long, it's well taken. This is a lovely piece of work, Movaka. He loves poaching tries. It's not going to be his on this occasion. It's still there though. Over goes Ainu looking for the way through. He's held up. They're on the line. Toulouse looking for a try that would give them a bonus point. They are camped, ready and waiting. Bituni Yata is in there, wearing 21. Miafu had it. Ruma also held up. Come again. Jack Willis trying to help out there. It's not happening just at this moment for Toulouse, but they've still got a time. Miafu, a huge man. Has he managed to drive over? He hasn't. He's held up as well. Flinging it on. That is the try for Pierre-Louis Barassi. Has it been ruled out though?
Had a little peep of a whistle there.
Offside, says the ref.
Responded to what looked like a deflection and may have called it a knock-on from Toulouse, which is why the whistle came. But
il y a une position de hors-jeu des Roses, donc je vais revenir sur la faute. Il y aura pénalité ici contre vous.
Again, Stade Francais, so Toulouse still have the opportunity.
Hors-jeu Rose.
Paul Gabriel penalised. They come again. Movaka, Richie Arnold, back off for Grau. Lovely inside. Surely they're going to get over. They are indeed, and it is that man mountain, Emmanuel Miafu, who collects the try, their fifth of the night. And if it stays like this, that's a bonus point win for Toulouse.
It's a well-crafted try by the big boys at Toulouse, just doing enough to change the focus of the defence. And there's the inside ball. They went off. Stade Francais went off after the first ball carrier, but that little pass to the big man, hitting at pace, Miafu, very, very hard to stop from there. chases it down almost delicately after the block-busting run that he just produced.
Emmanuel Meafou, once upon a time, played for the New South Wales Country Eagles. These days he's a France international lock forward, and he's just scored his fourth try of the season, for Toulouse. That's quite a journey for that man. A French national now, a French international. Made his home in France, loving life down in the Pink City, and they're going to enjoy themselves this evening down there. It's a city that does enjoy itself. There is plenty of life, and it'll be noisy for a few hours yet. The conversion goes through the middle. Another 2 points for Thomas Ramos. That's 22 for him this evening. And it's 42 points to 18. This game is won, there's no doubt about that. And it is won in some style by Toulouse. 5 tries to 2, 42 points to 18. It's slightly crept up on us, hasn't it?
Well, they can do that. You can leak points so easily to this team, where it looks like it's been tougher at times through the match, but they've just racked up the points. There's the big man again.
5 minutes remaining. 24 points the difference. The best that Stade Francais can do now is to grab a try and deprive Toulouse of a bonus point. But that looks a tough call at the moment. Toulouse in the ascendancy, sending the ball high. No chance of a quick restart, with Dakuwanga spilling it.
All they can do, as you said before, Barney, I think, is just ruin the complete party for Toulouse by not letting them have an attacking bonus point.
Well, they've got to work hard because it's in the bag at the moment. Boudon misses the pass. Leo Barry is being hunted. There is Maita. He does well, the hooker. Nice feet on him, but it's gone to ground. And it's Toulouse who come away with it. Are they going to finish this with a 6th try? There's some lovely work. Oh, moving the ball sweetly through the hands. Still going. Still going. It's Betuniata putting pressure into the 22. Oh, Toulouse are on a roll. They want to finish. They want number 6. Quick hands once again. Is there space out wide? Ramos brings it back in. He's through the first tackle. That's poor from Stade Francais. He's taken another 3 to drag him down. Just 5 metres from the line now. Grau is there. Feeds Ruma. A little pop for Richie Arnold. Oh, was that a little knock on from Rodriguez? Just couldn't quite finish it off.
Well, that's a shame. That would have been the try of the night, if not the season. Full team involvement. They use power, they use speed, they use space. Everybody involved, the continuity, and a lovely little offload at the end. Just not quite high enough for Netty to put it in the basket and go over.
Ugo Mola, we just saw Saito, one of the coolest coaches around. Never looks flustered, not overjoyed, but now set up for number 6. Is it there? Meafou drives his way through the first set of tacklers. It's held up though. Quick pass through. Still again held up on the line. No way through yet. There will be though. Grau feeds Meafou a second time. Over they go. The try is awarded, and that is Emmanuel Meafou with his double. And now there is a hint of a smile around the chops of Ugo Mola. Job done.
2 and 2 minutes from Emmanuel Meafou, and 2 runs in the space of about 10 seconds takes him to his second try. Referee had the perfect little line. Here was the first tap from Meafou, the first phase. They kept surging forward. And here's the second one, and like I say, the perfect gap for referee Ramos, seeing through, seeing the white ball planted on the white goal line. Mola letting his guard down a little bit, showing some enjoyment there as well, and as well he might. It ended up being a very enjoyable evening for the Toulouse boys.
First half ended 20 points to 13. At the moment, in the second half, it's 27 points to 5. It's been a real display from Toulouse, who haven't even needed to call on that man, Antoine Dupont.
And it's a big psychological boost if they meet again in any of the playoff matches. Just having this behind them, putting Stade Francais to the sword. If they come up against them, they know there'll be some baggage potentially in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, this has turned into a real thumping. Said at the start of the second half that Toulouse hadn't beaten Stade Francais in their last 5 meetings. They've put that record very clearly to right. The 2 points for Ramos takes them to the cusp of the half century. 49 points to 18. That is a bit of a thrashing in the end.
And the worry here for Stade Francais is teams looking at it and getting confidence themselves.
Just 6 seconds remaining in the game. This will be the last play. I think Toulouse will be happy now just to pop the ball out. This is a fantastic victory for Toulouse. Out the ball goes. Toulouse go top of the top 14. They have beaten Stade Francais, who were there at the start of the night, by 49 points to 18. 6 tries to 2. A fantastic second half performance, which has really shown Toulouse's credentials. They're already in the Champions Cup final against Leinster, and they're making their way. They're almost guaranteed a semi-final place now in the top 14.
Yes, and by contrast, Stade Francais could be nervous times. They receive Bordeaux, who is in hot form, next week at Stade Francais. They've still got Toulon in a few weeks' time as well. Castres away will be no pushover either. So, you know, they'd be pretty nervous, I think, Stade Francais now and the supporters, because they look like, you know, they've been front runners for most of the season. All of a sudden, towards the business end, they're being caught up by this swag of other contenders.
Yep, they're just 4 points ahead of Bordeaux and 8 points ahead of Toulon. And that could disappear very quickly if they lose both those matches, which I'm not saying they will, but if they did, they would be struggling in the lower part of the top 6. I think they'd still get there.
But if they think tonight was tough against an attacking team in Toulouse, wait till they get Bordeaux with that back line next week. If they get plenty of ball Bordeaux, that's a really tough prospect for Stade Francais.
Well, it's been a hard night's work for the pink shirts of Stade Francais in the pink city of Toulouse. Great win for the home side. Top of the table. Tremendous double at the end from Emmanuel Meafu, and that, I think, sums up what you want from an impact player, isn't it? You don't get much more of an impact than that, do you?
No, and he looked full of energy as well, and it did come in at a time where Toulouse were getting on the front foot phase after phase, and obviously enjoyable to do that, and a big man like that, so hard to stop no matter how many you have there stacked in defence.
A tough one for the Parisians to take. As you say, they've got Bordeaux-Bègles next week. Toulouse, in contrast, I think they have Montpellier at Montpellier, and that, if they win there, that will, I think I'm right in saying, effectively consign Montpellier to the playoff, the relegation playoff.
C'est bon? Allez, on fait pas long.
They've got some
Juste
more
premier,
big
c'est bien, les
games
gars.
coming up. Leinster
En jouant
in the Champions final, La
les
Rochelle
premiers.
at
Maintenant, il nous
home,
reste 3 journées à faire.
and Lyon
3
away.
journées à faire, les gars. Ok? 3 bonnes journées à faire.
3 good days to
Là, on
come.
y est. 3 bonnes journées. 3 bonnes journées dans la tronche. D'accord? Bravo à vous, à toi, Rob.
So just reminding them, they've still got 3 more games to go. This wasn't the final. So that, I suppose if they're going to go all the way, they've got 5 more games to go.
Just a small matter of the European Cup sort of thrown in there as well, but obviously they're talking about that, staying on the subject of top 14.
Yeah.
So not getting ahead of themselves. They'll be aware that there were some things that weren't quite perfect tonight as well. There's always something to improve on, and there were times where Stade Francais was able to put pressure on Toulouse, so they'll take some of those things out of this, but a very rewarding victory for them, but a bit of work to go.
They certainly in that second half, they did show up the limitations of the Stade Francais side, though.
Particularly when you think the quality of the players and the cohesion and the combinations that they've got to come back into it. They're a little bit sort of piecemeal with some of the replacements they had tonight as well, Toulouse. So, they got on the front foot and things looked all right, but they can still go a lot better.
The thing, what makes them so impressive, and I'm sure
qu'est-ce qui s'est passé ce soir?
Leinster
Comment
will
vous
be
expliquez
watching.
ce score assez lourd?
Let's see what Joris Segonde has to say.
Score assez lourd. Après, je pense que c'est mérité sur le match. Toulouse aujourd'hui a été nettement meilleur. Donc bravo à eux. Après, on savait qu'on est quand même aussi à Toulouse pour faire un gros match. Je pense qu'on a bien tenu la première mi-temps. Après, on a vu qu'en seconde période, on a un petit peu plus souffert. Mais après, comme on a dit, il nous reste 3 matchs jusqu'à la fin de saison. Donc la semaine prochaine, un match spécial contre Bordeaux à la maison. Donc il va falloir se remettre à bosser. Justement, je pense que ce match va aussi nous aider. On va tirer des enseignements. Donc juste se remettre au boulot et se préparer à tout prix pour dimanche prochain pour recevoir Bordeaux.
All we can do is get back to work, do the work.
Astrid avec l'un des hommes de ce match, Alexandre Roumat. Bravo Alexandre. Ce soir, on imagine qu'il y a dans cette semaine courte entre la demi-finale la semaine dernière et ce soir, on imagine que le bilan il est plus que positif. Il y a le bonus offensif. Qu'est-ce que vous retenez, vous?
Comme tu l'as dit, c'est vrai que c'était une semaine assez particulière. Forcément, après des rendez-vous comme ceux du week-end dernier, c'est toujours compliqué de basculer sur le top 14, mais je crois que
difficult to get back into the
qui a su faire aujourd'hui une très belle partie face à nos supporters. Donc voilà, on est très content. Aujourd'hui, on a réussi à aller chercher cette première place. On sait que le championnat top 14 à l'image des matchs de hier est tout le temps serré, donc ça sera serré jusqu'à la fin, mais c'est déjà quelque chose de bien. Et voilà, on avait à cœur de se rattraper du match aller où Stade Français, on avait du mal sur pas mal de secteurs. Et aussi valider la victoire qu'on a eu la semaine dernière.
Merci, on vous laisse aller faire le tour d'honneur.
Areas of the game, but it was a good night for us. So Alexander Roumat there, not giving away too many smiles, was he? But keeping it very clean. But that was a great win.
Well, it's astounding to hear someone say it was tough to get back into the top 14 after the excitement of Europe, and then see that they've just beaten the top team by 30-odd points. So that shows what they're capable of, Toulouse.
It is indeed, and I think we're probably going to have a little look at the highlights in a moment. So we won't go just yet, Andrew. There we go. Let's have a look at the. Have a look at that. What does that tell us? 6 tries to 2. I mean, that is the story, really, isn't it?
Yeah, no, you just wonder if Stade Francais ran out of legs a little bit. They worked really, really hard to get any kind of ground in the first half. They were still in the game at halftime, as Joris Segonde said, but maybe just the legs in the end told, and the front foot that Toulouse got in that second half, and they were able to sort of dictate terms a little bit. So, it wasn't perfect, and as Alexandre Roumat said, they were sort of coming back into it after Europe, and they've still got to get through that final in a couple of weeks, and maybe it'll only be then that they really feel they can knuckle down and go the rest of the way in the top 14. Possession stayed similar and territory, didn't it?
Isn't that remarkable, though? Stade Francais was 61%. You've got to wonder about statistics sometimes, haven't you, when you see that?
Yeah, well, they can be misleading too, because, they might have spent a lot of time in the half, but not very productive within it. And Toulouse, obviously, when they got out of their half, scored pretty quickly. So then they were back down receiving a kick-off in their own half again. Maybe statistically that's what happened.
Well, let's just have a quick look at those second half tries we got. This was the first one. It came from, it was 20 points to 13 at half-time. This was 5 minutes after the restart. Toulouse on the front foot from the beginning, working the ball wide. Now check the pick-up here from Peter Aki, off his toes, beats Segonde into the corner. There, making it 25 points to 13. Thomas Ramos converting to make it 27-13. Ramos added a penalty to make it 30. And then from a turnover, a long kick ahead. There's some good cover, we think, from Lester Etienne. Flips it inside, but it's Malia who collects, chips it through. Ramos going through for the try. And this really did put Toulouse well in front. Now, from the restart, this is an odd one because it's hiked away by Ramos. Now, where is Joris Segonde? How does he play the game? Is it little show? It's Phil Bennett all over again. Sets up Etienne to go through in the corner. A little bit against the run of play that did bring the scores back to 35 points to 18 in Toulouse's favour. The replacements came on, and in the last few minutes, we had the Meafou double. Pounding away at the line, Emmanuel Meafou crashed through. The Toulouse fans absolutely delirious at this point. They like to win every match, but especially against Stade Francais. A couple of minutes later, they were at it again. Meafou was at it again. Held up on the line once more. Where is he? He's taking up position. Watch that man with number 18 on his back. Over he goes. The referee spots it. Try given. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that. Hugo Mola allows himself a little smile. Thomas Ramos converted to take his tally to 24 points for the evening, and a final score of Toulouse 49, Stade Francais 18. I'm going to say thank you to Andrew Mertens for joining us today.